service over to the hands of Sister Rose.
The Lord is good. It's good to be here tonight to worship him in spirit and in truth. He is so good and so kind. Thank you. Yes. I'm coming to you from 2 Samuel, the 13th chapter. Father, we're grateful tonight for your blessings and for all that you've done for us. And what a privilege it is to be in your house, to worship you in spirit and in truth. I pray, God, for the move of thy spirit, that you work miracles in the hearts of your people, that you'd open their eyes and let them see what they need to see. And we'll give you glory and we'll give you honor. In Jesus' name we pray, amen and amen. Yes. It came to pass after this that Absalom, the son of David, had a fair sister, whose name was Tamar. And Ammon, the son of David, loved her. He lusted after her. And Ammon was so vexed that he fell sick for his sister, Tamar, for she was a virgin. Don't have many of those left in the land. And Ammon thought it hard for him to do anything to her. And Ammon had a friend. Listen to this part. This is the part that you really need to tune in on. Ammon had a friend that helped to make the trap possible. Listen to this. Whose name was Jonadab, the son of Shimei, David's brother. And Jonadab was a very subtle man, meaning he was sneaky and underhanded, couldn't be trusted. And he said unto him, Why art thou, being the king's son, lean from day to day? Wilt thou not tell me? And Ammon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said unto him, Lay thee down on thy bed, and make thyself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come, and give me meat, and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. And so Ammon lay down and made himself sick. And when the king was come to see him, Ammon said unto the king, I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come and make me a couple of cakes in my sight, that I may eat at her hand. Then David sent home to Tamar, saying, Go now to thy brother Ammon's house, and dress him meat. So Tamar went to her brother Ammon's house, and he was laid down, and she took flour and kneaded it, and made cakes in his sight, and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured them out before him, but he refused to eat. And Ammon said, Have out all men from me. And they went out every man from him. And Ammon said unto Tamar, Bring the meat unto the chamber, that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she had made, and brought them into the chamber, and Ammon her brother. And when he had brought them unto him to eat, he took hold of her, and said unto her, Come lie with me, my sister. And she answered him, Nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. I want you to understand how the devil sets traps for people. This is on a constant every day. And you know what's so sad about it? So many people don't even know that a trap has been set. When I was studying this message, I thought, unless you are knowledgeable of the trap, trap, you can't avoid it. Because what you don't see and what you don't understand, you find yourself walking right into it. Didn't even know it was a trap. But now here, Ammon is now wanting to have sex with Tamar. She's a virgin. You just don't get a virgin and do it the way he did her. And so there's some little kinfolk stuff going on there. Okay, so now he's saying, I'm so vexed he fell sick. You ever seen somebody want sex so bad they get sick? Yes. I want it so bad until I can't hardly breathe. Come here. Crazy, sick, mental. Listen. So he said, he fell sick. Now this wasn't love, this is lust. Because I'm going to read down a little bit further as I go on with this message, that this had nothing to do with love. This had everything to do with the fact he wanted to have sex with this girl. He said she was pretty. Yeah. Should you have sex with her because of that? Okay, listen. So he said, but Ammon had a friend. And he's laying there sad-eyed and looking pitiful. And then Ammon comes in, Jonadab comes in and said, what's wrong with you, man? Said, I'm sick for my sister. Want to have sex. Play with it if you want to. It'll mess up your mind. And so Jonadab, the scripture said, was a very subtle man, a crook, clever, underhanded, know how to get things done in the wrong way. Listen, he said, then why art thou being the king's son? Why are you going through this? You can have whatever you want. In the sight of God, it doesn't have anything to do with your position. You don't have the right to abuse or take advantage of any person, regardless to who you are. In fact, I think it's even worse when you are in a place of authority that you would abuse that authority and take advantage of a person. I think it's even worse. And he said unto him, you're the king's son. Wilt thou not tell me? And Ammon said unto him, I love Tamar, my brother Absalom's sister. And Jonadab said to him, well, make yourself sick. Lay down and pretend you're sick. Lay down on the bed. And he said, and make yourself sick. And when thy father cometh to see thee, say unto him, I pray thee, let my sister Tamar come and give me meat and dress the meat in my sight, that I may see it and eat it at her hand. He wasn't worried about no meat, no cookies, no cake. This man had one thing in mind. How many times do we get caught up in a trap because it looks like somebody wants me to do this or do that? In actuality, they don't want any of that. This is a way to bring you in and bring you into this situation. So now he's saying, when she come, so Ammon now, so the king don't even recognize what's going on. He laid down, pretended he was sick. And I pray thee, let Tamar my sister come to me and make me a cup of cakes in my sight that I may eat at her hand. See, the trap is, it's not about the cakes. It's not about what I want. It ain't got nothing to do with any of that. So the thing, when the devil sets up a trap for you, it's not about what you think it's about. It's far more than that. The devil is trying to play a game with you. I have a great dislike for game players. When they play games, they always think they're going to win. But nobody plays the devil's game and win. Nobody does. You're a loser before you start. So now listen. So David sent home to Tamar, saying, go now to thy brother Ammon's house and dress him some meat. Fix him some. He's not feeling good. Wasn't nothing wrong with that joker. He just wanted to have sex with this girl. I said, I get mad when I'm reading it. You know, the nerve of you. You're going to take advantage of this virgin who does not understand. She's never had sex, so she don't understand all the things that surrounds that and what causes this to happen. She's ignorant to the fact. Listen. So Tamar went there, and she took flour and bread and kneaded it and made cakes in his sight and did bake the cakes. And she took a pan and poured that out before him. He didn't want that. It wasn't cakes anyway. I ain't got no appetite for no cake. I'm planning on putting. I'm looking for a different kind of cookie here. It ain't got nothing to do with a cake. So now, Ammon says, put everybody out. I don't want no witnesses around. Put everybody out. Watch the devil on every turn. He's trying to take advantage of you. Let me tell you, as long as you're trying to serve God, every day of your life, the devil is plotting for you. There's not a day past when you're sleeping at night, he's plotting for you. He's looking for a way in which I can mess up your head, get you turned off into the wrong place. I called Kent all day today. I've been telling that man before. I said, you better pray more and fast. Don't half fast with the church. Don't hardly pray. I guarantee you, there's some little woman out there. I left a message, where are you? No answer. I told him, I said, now, he told me about some woman coming up in his face. I said, treat her like dirt. He says, Rose, you just don't be rude to people. I said, this is the devil. Look past people. This is the devil trying to mess you up. Just look past that. That ain't got nothing. I said, well, you better not be nice to the devil. You be nice to him and don't be rude to the devil. Are you stupid? See? I said, you have to, if a woman come up in your face, set your face like a rock, like stone. Don't come here. You can can get a man to go a different direction just by one look on your face. One look. You said, but I just thought that. He said, I said, hi. Stupid. This kind of stuff really makes me upset, so look over me tonight. He said to Tamar, bring the meat into the chamber that I may eat of thine hand. And Tamar took the cakes which she'd made and brought them into the chamber. And when she brought them into him to eat, he took hold of her. I don't know where the meat went or the cakes went. And he took hold of her and said, come lie with me. In other words, the word says come lie with me means come have sex with me. Okay? And so she said, nay, my brother, do not force me, for no such thing ought to be done in Israel. Do not thou this folly. Don't commit this sin. Please, my brother. See, a virgin's not experienced. So she's talking to him, please don't do that. An experienced woman to give him a left hook. And going out, you see what I mean? But she don't know what to do. This girl's like taking a little child, putting it in a grown-up situation. They don't have a clue how to do this. She's so innocent, and you're using it. Listen what he did to her. She said, please don't force me. He raped her anyway. And she said, whither shall I cause my shame to go? I'll be so ashamed. What do I do? He not cared about your shame. And as for thee, thou shalt be as one of the fools in Israel. Now therefore I pray thee, speak unto the king, for he will not withhold me from you. You can do it legally. Ask the king. Ask the king, can you have me? He will give me to you. Oh no, he needs to rape her. Howbeit he would not hearken unto her voice, but being stronger than she, forced her and lay with her. Then Ammon hated her exceedingly. Listen to this, that ain't love. Then Ammon hated her exceedingly, so that the hatred wherewith he hated her was greater than the love wherewith he had loved her. And Ammon said unto her, arise and get out. Get out. That's what happened to so many women in our society. They think this man is for real. He's talking a bunch of crap. He's not real. And then when he gets through with you, he says, get out of my life, baby. I ain't looking for no serious relationship. You should have found it out before he parked your shoes under your bed. You got to stop for a minute and say, wait a minute. Are you looking for a relationship? If they want sex first, they're not looking for a relationship. They're looking for sex. There's a difference. So he said, get out. And when she left, she said unto him, there is no cause. This evil in sending me away is greater than the other that thou didst unto me. But he would not hearken unto her. Then he called his servant that ministered unto him and said, put now this woman out from me and bolt the door after. Lock the door. Be sure she can't get back in. You have destroyed this woman's life. She may not never be the same. It's a different thing to have sex. It's a different thing to be raped. A stripping of your own dignity. It is uncomprehendable. The devil has been setting traps for people from the beginning of time way back here and before. He's still setting traps for Christians today who say they want to serve God and live for God. And the devil's forever trapping them in something. And they say, I didn't even think of that. You need to think. You need to stop and think, where is this going? Where is it leading to? You better know what you're dealing with. And you better have a spiritual insight to see a thing long before it comes. Long before it comes. Satan has placed so many concealed traps. Traps not visible with the natural eye. You can't tell it's a trap. You walk up on it and suddenly the trap door opens up and you fall in it because you can't see. But if you walk with God, if you pray, and the Spirit of God gives you an oversight, an insight into things, you see it before it's ever going to happen. See what's coming? Don't go there. Don't go there. And see, here's the thing with sex. Once you get to a certain point, you may say no all you want to. You're not going to stop. You're not going to stop. It just keeps dragging you further in. And you say, I know I shouldn't be doing it. I know the devil is a lie. The devil ain't a lie at this point. I mean, he got you where he wants you at. You're going to give in. He's going to mess up your life. So help me, God. Quit getting caught in a trap by these people. And understand the devil is out to take your soul. He don't care how he get it. So now he puts her out, locked the door behind her. I don't want to see her no more. And virgins back in the day, they wore a garment that was of diverse colors that meant they were virgins. So you recognize the virgin. I mean, the ones in our planet on this day, they don't. There ain't none. You're going to be looking a long time for a virgin. They so few. All of them been somewhere. See? But you got to look at your life and say, wait a minute. What do I want to do? I saved some of our girls' life. Tiffany saved her life. I said, don't give up God. It's never worth it. And just because somebody's treating you nice, don't get caught up with the niceness. It's so nice to me. Don't get caught up with it, okay? We must learn to recognize the potential traps. It ain't happening yet, but it has the potential for being that. And if it has the potential, get back from it. The scripture says, shun the very appearance of evil. If it appears evil, get away from it. If it looks like it could go the wrong way, get away from it. If it looks like it's going to be a problem, back up from it. No, we're just going, it looked kind of funny. Well, get back. Get back from it. Air. So, most people don't recognize it. You can't avoid the traps that you don't recognize. Look, the snare, Job said, is laid for him in the ground and a trap for him in the way. It's always covered up. Traps are not visible oftentimes. So that's what you got to deal with. It's not good. I'm going to see, I guarantee you, what you don't see. I guarantee you, if you listen, I'll save you from a lot of stuff. Yes. Experience, been on this earth this long, teaches me a lot of things. But the Spirit of God, with the spirit of discernment, lets you see and say, don't do that. That's why I watch men and women in the church. The church is dismissed. Go on out, honey. You can shake a brother's hand, leave the sisters alone, go on out. You got to stand back and wait. I had one man come and get mad with me. What is it in this church? You can't see somebody that you like? You can't say nothing to him? I said, not in here you can't. Oh, he didn't like me at all and asked me, do I give a hoot? I said, you're not going to play in this church. We don't play around. We're here for church. That's what it's all about. See? He says, what the devil does, how he trips people, he changes his attacks and the trap. So it looks like it's not the same thing, but when you dig into it, you find out it's exactly the same thing that you thought I escaped it before. He comes back a different way. The devil always will show up. If he doesn't get you on this round, he'll get you on the next one. So he's coming back. So I didn't get your attention then, but hey, I'll get it. Wait for the time that you're not praying. Wait for the time you're not paying attention. Wait for the time you're spending time on TV watching sex scenes. Yeah, wait for the time. You sitting there watching stuff. You know you ain't got no business doing it. You know the fire is being turned up and keep right on watching. Well, after a while, what are you going to do? You're going to find a way to put the fire out. And the devil will make it possible. Churches, it's a shame that it happens in churches. In the world, we expect that, but in the church, and I'm telling you, it will happen right here unless you keep a close eye on people. I said, no. See, sometimes traps come by associating with the wrong people. My friend, what's his name, Boots? Are you Boots? Okay. If you don't get away from people that's bad, when you try to make your way toward God, you gotta get away from all of them. They won't do nothing but pull you down. They'll constantly say negative things to you on a constant. You got to say, I don't want to hear it. You ain't going nowhere, man. You going to church? What you going to church for? None of your business. But see, you don't have to hear that if you remove yourself from it. All this stuff is to pull you down because you don't have the strength to stand up. So start trying to start out and say, I want to serve God. You better surround yourself with people that are saved. If you don't surround yourself with them, they'll discourage you. And tell you, you know, man, I don't know what you're going to church for. You ain't going to be no different. You're going to die the way you are. Say, you a liar. I'm out of here. Find a way out. find a way out. See? So if you associate with people that are bad and you join up with them, you got to be careful of one thing, to avoid having them around you. The wrong people around you long enough. Listen to this. And what they do, you will do. What they say, you will say. Because that stuff drags you down. That's a trap set. So what the devil does is put us in a position where it's like, I don't have no way out. If you really want out, me and Matt can help you out. You don't have to feel like, well, I don't have nowhere to go. We'll get you someplace to go. But you got to show me you really want to do it. You got to fight. There's a way out. And God always puts somebody there who's going to say, I'll help you, son. That's what he said about man this morning. I'm thinking, okay, your time is up there in 30 days. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have a job. God will give you a job. And in the meantime, we'll stand in the wings and do what we can. But you don't just have to say, well, I have nothing, no place to go. You got a place to go when you're in this church. You got a place to go. Check where your priorities are. Evaluate yourself and examine what you think is important, because that's going to make a difference. If I prioritize my life and make God and his word number one, the devil don't have much inroads into you. So you got to understand, you strive to keep God at the top of your priority list. Because if he's up here, I don't care how much the devil comes. I'm not worried about anybody. Men have gotten mad with me sitting on the pew. And in fact, the Jackson Joker was one of them. Sitting on the front pew, he got mad with me when I said, I don't sleep with nobody. He looked at me like, yeah, all right. I'd like to be. I thought in the ugly as you are. You don't even stand a chance anyway. If you was beautiful as everything, anything and everything, you wouldn't stand a chance. They don't like a woman to say that like she can be broken, man. This one can't. And I tell you that with everything in my being. Mike said he told the guy that was with him with the cane, sitting back there by him, he told Mike, that woman looks good. He said, she looks good for us, don't even go there. He just put it right in his head. She looks good for us, don't even go there. He said, that looking stupid. Well, she don't look like she's that old. I'm that old. I'm a grandma. I'm going to try my best to get out here before I become a great. I'm looking for that. See? You're not interested in this stuff. People got to take a position. If some man came to this church some years ago, somebody told him that my husband had died, and I'm thinking, if he was dead 40 years, I'm not looking for a man. I have no interest. He comes to this church, sits in a section like that, and he stares me down. And I stare him right back. But not like this. No. I set my face. So he came to the desk to shake my hand and, and brought his daughter to the desk, and that's all right. But I knew who he was. I thought, you're such a filthy whoremonger. Well, he came back to church the next time. It's almost like, well, maybe the time wasn't right. It ain't never right for Sister Rose. So then he comes back, he sits again, and I look at him. When I got up to the pulpit, I said, now I'm going to put it to you like this. I looked right at him. I said, you come in here with that spirit again, I'm going to expose you in front of the whole church as the whoremonger you are. He never came back. You don't have to be saying, well, there's nothing I can do. What do I do? Just put it on the line. This is what it is. It is what it is. I'm not bowing to the devil. You got to say, I'm not bowing to the devil. No matter what he says. It's a bunch of crap, and don't get caught up with flattering words. Oh, my God, you are a beautiful woman. Can that crap. They tell the ugliest woman on the planet the same lie. Don't believe it. Quit believing it. He just thinks I'm so beautiful. No, he doesn't. You're no more pretty than nobody else. Look in the mirror. So you think it's all about how you look? No. It's all about sex. See? Setup is the way in which something is organized, planned, and arranged. The devil plans and arranges situations to put you in a situation to try and entrap you. You're the one, if you walk with God, let you see and say, that's not happening. The man came in my office one time and says, Rose, could I have a talk with you? I need some counseling. Yeah. And this is what he says. Older women seem to always go after me. I set my face just like that. Everywhere I go, I say, you must feel like the biggest fool on the planet. Why do old women want you? What is it about you that old women are attracted to? I said, you look just like a fool. That man's face dropped like, like I thought, honey, I'm not the one. Are you kidding me? When I got through talking about him like a puppy, he was glad to come on out that office, come out the office and went on his way. I thought, I'm not the one, buddy. I'm not looking for nobody. Here's the thing. Like when that man told me the other day, the businessman, Rose, don't you need a companion? I said, I have one. I'm not shopping around. I have a companion. He sleeps with me. He gets up with me. He goes with me through the day. He's everything I need, fulfills every need. Why do I need a companion? I have one. These people are stupid, like, what's wrong with you? I'm just not out there like you are. See? Setup is a scheme or a trick intended to deceive somebody. So I want to deceive you and kind of play this game, and you may not get what I'm doing. So that's what it's all about. It's about playing the game. You know, some people get a bigger high off the game than they do the actual act. That is, if I can get you to bow, you know what? Hey. And then once I get you to bow, it's just like what he did. He raped her. He didn't want her no more. He wanted her because he couldn't have her. So now I'll go after her. That's what the devil does to people. He comes after you. You got to prove who you are. My husband been dead 25 years this past week. And you know what? I'm just as saved today as I was then. Haven't heard from it not one time. Haven't said, I don't know what I'm going to do. Seems like I may have to get married. I don't want nobody in my life except Jesus. My life is full. It's rich. I had a great marriage, 34 years. Why would I want another one? I had a great marriage. The devil sets ambush for God's people, which is a surprise attack by lying in wait in a concealed position. So it don't really look like it is. It don't look like it's a problem, but it's an ambush, and it's suddenly he comes in on you. When the enemy comes in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord will lift up a standard against him. When he comes all at once to try to put you down, honey, that's when you stand up and say, I'm not bowing to this. There is no temptation. No temptation that's not common to man. But with the temptation, God will make a way of escape for you to get out of it. You don't have to bow to the devil. Quit talking about yourself. What do? If you're living right, God's going to show you the way out. Are you going to take it? Are you going to take the way out? Or will you just sit there and make excuses why you couldn't get out of it? No. To be in a concealed place, that's how he gets you. He gets you through women. He gets you through men. He gets you on your job. He gets you with your family. He's everywhere. He's concealed in places that doesn't look like a trap. My grandmother one time sent me a tract when I was in Germany, and it says, a trap door covered with flowers. It's true. Covered with flowers. It looks beautiful. It looks like it's the right thing. But at the end of the day, it's a trap. Every time you want to catch a mice in your house, a mouse, feed him some cheese and some chocolate. Here he come wagging out with his stupid tail. And all of a sudden, he's coming after the cheese with the chocolate. He's not coming to get killed. That's what the devil does. He baits the people of God. He baits you to the point that you can't get out. And you know you're going to come nosing around about, what's that? What's that? The devil said, just come on, keep walking. Keep walking. He's going to set you up. It's a setup from hell. You got to watch the devil. He suddenly attacks someone after hiding and waiting for them. Suddenly he comes. Or to attack from a hidden place. It's always covered with something. The devil is never obvious. Very subtle, under the cover. That's how people get tracked. That's how they get caught in the trap. Because it don't look like it. There is a way that seems right to man. But the way thereof is, but the way you're going is the way to death. You don't want to take that road because we can't see nothing. So we automatically believe, well, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Something's wrong with it. Don't get caught up in it. Not for a moment. See? I think as a minister, as a pastor, I have to counsel with people all the time. You got to be fully aware of your position and the people position you're counseling. Where are they at? What do you say? What do you don't say? What's appropriate? What's not appropriate? Don't even be the reason that somebody goes down a road that they shouldn't go down. It shouldn't happen. Pastors do this stuff knowing full well the woman's after them, and they'll play the game right with them. Play it with them, that's why they're going to hell. Right along with it is bad situations, see? Watch this. There's something called waylay. I found that when I was studying this message, and it's called to wait for and then stop someone, especially either to attack or talk to that person. Talk to them. It's called waylay. So I just talk to you. There's nothing wrong with just talking. There's nothing wrong with that. Of course it is. Watch who you talk to. And why you always got something to say to me? Why every service you would make your way up to me to say something to me. What is that? Zach sitting there laughing. You know all about the game, don't you, Zach? You know, wheelchair slows you down, but hey, you know about the game. Yeah. Every time, no matter what happens, no matter who's in the church, you know, you always, somehow we run into each other. That's not coincidental. It's the devil setting you up, looking for the way in which he can get in and try to mess up your head. And sad to say, in most cases, it has something to do with sex. That's tragic. To think that your mind is that weak, you are so caught up with it until it's taking you wherever you want to go. And you're not in control. You're not even in control. Just talking stuff. Let me tell you about a story about Sister Daisy. Put your fan down, Daisy. This man comes to Oklahoma. This is a trap. This man comes to Oklahoma. Daisy's divorced from her husband, been away from him for a while, you know, not having sex and nothing like that. And this man named Van, I'll never forget it. He was Charles's friend. Cool. Van was a very cool man. Very smooth. Some women like those kind of men. It's not a bunch of talk that doesn't work. But he was real cool. Nice looking guy. Sex appeal. So Daisy started talking to her and Van, just constantly talking in the living room talking. So I came back from the back of the house, and Daisy, I think you was laying on the couch and Van was on the floor, right? Now, she was saved, sanctified, and Holy Ghost filled. Now, and Daisy, Van was down on the floor, and he was looking up at Daisy, and Daisy was looking at him. And I came in, I thought, oh, my God, we're in trouble. We're in trouble. I don't know if I called Daisy or I can't remember. It's been some years, many years ago. And I thought, you better get away from Van, because Van is a smooth operator. He knows how to attract women. He's smooth. He don't talk much. He's just cool. So he had Daisy in the game. Daisy was starry-eyed and looking crazy. And knowing being saved, you can't have sex with this man, and you are getting too far out. I said something to get them apart. I don't know what it was. But I thought, boy, this is going overboard here. This is taking days. I'd never seen it like that before. I don't even know if Daisy knew I was there. She was just looking, starry-eyed and crazy. And I thought the devil setting you up on the couch. And this man just came to visit us. He liked Daisy. Daisy liked him. Not good. And Daisy says, see, Rose, she's trying to explain to me what he's like. I know who he is. We seen his type. Those type is the way how they get women. And they do it in a very cool way. You hear someone say, I like him cool. He was cool. And I almost had her going. So what I'm saying, if you put yourself in a position, you can't get out of it. She was close enough in that position not to escape it. Somehow, by the grace of God, she got out. She never went there again. Quit thinking that I can get this close to it and I'm still not going to do anything. You don't control things when it gets to a certain place. You don't control it. That's why you recognize the devil afar. Watch him a long ways off. Don't let him get up on you. If he gets up on you, you can't fight it. You can't do it. See, it's a trick. We're just going to have a talk. That's what Daisy and Van did. They just had a talk. He talking to her, she talking to him. That talk got so hot, it was incomprehensible. I got scared myself. But somehow, by the grace of God, she got out of it. But you know what? Some people get there and don't get out. They don't get out. I'm trying to tell you tonight that he lies in wait to attack you from something hidden that you wouldn't recognize. Well, it's not this. It don't seem like it's that. It wasn't nothing to that. See? So waylay is also to intercept or attack from ambush as in order to rob or seize or slay you. The devil comes to kill, to destroy. He's looking for the way in which he can get in. You have to determine you're not getting in on me like that. You have to see it at a distance. And if I warn you, believe the warning. Believe it. It's not just talk. To seize you is to take you quickly. Now, Kent been moving up on this. I don't care what he says. I thought he'd never miss his church in all these years. If he going to miss, he call. No phone call. And I got this one. I thought, I haven't heard from Kent this week. He usually call on Thursday. I said, Sister Rose, I'm busy. Busy doing what, Kent? Something's going on. So, the waylay means he's going to rob you of something. He's going to seize you to take hold of you suddenly where you can't get loose. And then he's going to kill you. The ultimate end with the entrapment is to kill you. So, trap is simply a device or enclosure designed to catch and to retain you. So when we go after an animal, it gets the animal, but it holds it. It don't let it go. That's what the devil does. Once he gets you there, you can't get out. Very hard to get out. A trap door covered with flowers that don't look like a trap, typically allowing entry but not exit. You know, the devil show you how you can get in, but he also don't show you how you're going to get out. Because I got the other end already sold up. You're not going to get out that door that you think is there. There's no door there. I made it look like it was a door, but it's not. So I'll let you get in, but you can't get out. Puts you in a position or situation from which it is difficult or impossible for you to escape it. Once you get into a situation, you can't get out of it. That's why I tell people don't get into porn. When you get into porn, you can't get out. It is a powerful spirit that drives men and women and literally destroys their life. They get caught and can't come out of it. The devil got so many traps, and they got a trap called the glue-based trap. And that's the trap that has such heavy, sticky glue on it that whatever you're trying to get, it can't get loose because it holds it to that. It's stuck. You can't get out. Don't get stuck. You see somebody trying? You can't get out. Why? You're stuck in a situation. that you've allowed the devil to put you in, and you can't get out of it. He's coming to you, telling you, it's okay if you didn't pray today. I mean, you will make up for it. Somebody was saying the other day, you can't catch up prayer. That's the truth. Every day, you got to pray. Every day. You cannot miss a day. If you miss a day, you have allowed the enemy a chance in which he can trap you. I'm telling you, you don't think it's that important. That's why I say I got to start back having prayer at the church. Because these folks don't pray enough. That's why they always into something. That's why something's always wrong. That's why they're somewhere off the deep end somewhere doing something crazy. Because you don't pray. Prayer is essential. It's essential. I say that again and again, and it still never soaks in. So if you get in a trap, have you noticed one thing I noticed when I was studying this? They can never set a trap for a flying insect. They're on the move. They're up too high. You can't trap them. Everything crawling on the ground going to get caught. That's you. You down too low. You got to go up higher so the devil can't trap you. But long as you stay down here where he has access to you, when you don't pray, when you don't fast, and you don't get into the word, he has access to you. That's a tragedy. See, understand it. See, you get rid of the pride in here, you won't have to fight this. The people that's proud don't listen. People that's proud think they know. People that's proud feel like, I don't need somebody telling me how to run my life. You better listen. You better listen. See? And then there's that trap I like to refer to as the thirst trap for porn or sexual images, thirsty for gratification. That's that thirst, the wrong type of thirst. He that hunger and thirst after God shall be filled. When your thirst starts thirsting after other things, that's what you're going to go after. It takes you away from God. It don't lead you to God. Have you ever seen people say, I'm thirsty, and reach for a Pepsi? No, you get thirsty, you're supposed to drink some water. And they'll get some other drinks. God, I'm thirsty. Give me a drink. Give me a Pepsi. Give me a Coke. That's not good for the thirst. And that's what the devil gets you to do. Just grab that. No, don't grab it. Watch it. See? If you thirst after righteousness, you'll be filled. Then I looked up the word ensnare. What is the difference between snare and ensnare? Ensnare is to be ensnared by lies, cheat, misleading. So the things I say to you will ensnare you. My words to you. Don't get caught up in people's words. People can talk. Whether or not they deliver is another thing. But they talk. And we get caught up with that in a minute. So then, ensnare is to catch or get control of somebody. Control your mind. Control you with sex. Control you with this and with that. It goes from one thing to another. You have to get out. You become ensnared with it. Makes it even more impossible to get out of it. To entrap, what does that mean from trap? Entrap can be entrapped by family expectations, to trick someone into committing a crime that the person would not have otherwise committed. So to entrap you is to unfairly manipulate someone into an action, to trap someone in an underhanded way. Constant. That's all over the place. You can't get away from that one. I got you to do it, but I did it underhanded. It looked like that wasn't what I made you think that wasn't what I was trying to do. Yes, it was. And if you got any emotional feelings for a person, be it your wife, your husband, whoever it is, if you're not careful, you can be entrapped by them because you're at a place mentally that they can bring you in. Watch it. Be cautious. Be careful. Listen. The difference between ensnare and snare is that ensnare is to entrap, to catch in a snare or trap, while snare is to catch up and or hold, especially with a loop. When I checked it, because the loop hangs around you where it won't let you out. That's a bondage. Spiritually speaking, a lot of people get caught in the loop. That's why when you get ready to praise God, you can't pray. That's why you can't pray. You can't pray because you're in the loop. Get out of the loop, because the trap has a loop in it. So the loop is a part of the snare to set a steel cable loop in a person's movement path to bring you into captivity, to be sure they put that loop around the neck or the legs that you can't get out. So where are you at tonight? Where did the devil pull you in at? To somebody in the church that's gossiping and lying? No, you're not. You ain't. The person who listens to the lie is as guilty as the one doing the lie. There's no difference, because you have to be in agreement to do it. You have to be in agreement. So what do? He brings you, the scripture says, Satan has taken them captive by his will against what you want to do. You say, I never thought I'd be here. You're there because you chose to be there. And he brought you in, and you can't get out. I remember telling my oldest son that it was corrupt to as low as it gets. I was in prayer one day, and the Lord showed me he had a horrible spirit of lust. And this lust was so bad that literally, if he walked in a room where a female was, his body would go completely out of control. Just walk in the room, not say nothing, not do nothing, just walk in the room, completely out of control. And I told him, I said, he was so far out. He was so far out, he couldn't get in. He lost out with God. But had he listened to me, I said, the devil's gonna trick you on that one. How is it that the fact that I'm in the room with a female causes my whole body to become out of control? Something is wrong with you. I call that getting caught in the loop and can't get out. You don't want that to happen. Listen, you know the story about Joseph and how his master's wife wanted him to have sex with her, and he turned her down. We don't have those kind of Josephs no more. He turned her down and said, your husband's good to me. He gave me everything in the kingdom. The only thing he withheld from me was you. How could I do such a thing against God? And she was going to force him. She put people out of the room too. And then she grabbed him, because she'd been coming back more and more. And see, you know what? A person should never be able to come back to you more than once. Because one time you should stop it. But she kept going back to Joseph 3 times trying to get him to have sex with her. And he finally decided, I got to get out of here. And she grabbed him by his coat. He let her have the coat. He stepped out the coat and ran. You know what some men gonna say? Man, I ain't gonna look like I'm that weak. I ain't running from it. You better run if it means your life. My grandmother said it's better to say yon he go than here he lay. And that's the truth. Better for you to move on. You can see it come. You know what? There is nobody that's ever got into an affair with the opposite sex that didn't see it coming. You can see that stuff. You recognize, you can smell it. You can't mistake it. And they still do it. It's not going to work for you. So if he gets you in the loop, he hangs around your neck and your legs, you can't get out. But the world as a whole is looking for gratification, and that's most of the time it's all sex. They don't have gratification from any other thing except food. See? Listen. They came to Jesus many times to try to entrap him. Many times. He says, how can a rational person believe in a physical resurrection? What is the greatest commandment? They kept asking him questions, not because they wanted answers, but because we're trying to trap you into something, because they didn't like him anyway. Let me get over here. The proud have hid a snare for me and cords. They have spread a net by the wayside. They have set gins for me. Gins is nothing but a noose or a snare. He said, I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets. A woman, the most dangerous thing on the planet. She is dangerous. You better understand it. You better make sure that you know what you're dealing with. You better make sure, don't come up on me. It don't look bad to say, no. I had to stop it and saw a man one time in the prayer line, and people were hugging me up here when I was praying for him. So his intent was, I'm going up and get me a hug. I picked up on it. So when he got up here to the thing, I said, bless him, Lord. You ain't getting ready to get a hug, you nasty, filthy buzzard. It's not happening. But I heard it in the spirit. I'm getting me a hug. No, you're not. So I made it a point. If you come up here to hug me, if you clean, hey, I don't have a problem. I'm Mother Rose to a point. But hey, sometimes they don't think of you as mother. See? He said, Jeremiah said, for among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that sitteth snares. They set a trap. They catch men. That's what these preachers are doing. They catch people. And they come after the people that's most vulnerable and the people that are ignorant. A bunch of silly women caught in a trap. And these preachers all over the country, they got women that'll stand up and they'll fight against you about a preacher. I'm thinking, what's he to you? I said something about Bishop Jakes one time. One said, I don't know where she's coming from talking about the bishop, because the bishop is going to hell. And hey, he's not off limits. He's not doing what the word says do. He's on his way out. Listen what Peter said. They commit adultery with the eyes, and their desire for sin is never satisfied. They lure unstable people into sin. They are well trained in greed, and they live under God's curse. They're greedy, and they train people how to do it. I had this evangelist in Washington one time. H.O. Robinson was there with a tent, and his son, we just bought a new Mark IV car, and he comes up on the parking lot. Sister, the Lord speak to you, give me that car. I said, brother, the Lord just gave it to me. I mean, they train these kids. This kid was little. He said, sister, you want to give that car to the Lord for the ministry? I said, no, I don't. God just gave it to me. They done train you how to come out and beg for a car. That's what they do. All these ministers, notice this. They keep their families right there where if I drop dead, my son got it, my daughter got it, somebody's got it. Constantly. Think about it. They train them how to be crooks. See? You got to understand, I'm not going to be pushed over, and I'm going to keep going. And don't be quick to believe what people say. Weigh their words, watch their actions, and you'll soon find out who they are. When they tried to get Nehemiah to stop building the wall, and Sanballat and them said, well, come down, we're going to meet with you. Come over to the church, and we're going to meet over there. He said, I perceive that God had not sent them. You better have spiritual perception to understand, otherwise you get caught in a trap. You don't want to get caught in a trap. You can get past that. See? But if you don't listen. David said, keep me from the snares which they have laid for me, and the gins of the workers of iniquity. Let the wicked fall into their own nets, whilst that I withal escape. While I escape, let them fall into their own net. Understand, every day of your life to the day you leave this world, the devil is going to be looking for a way in which to trap you. If you got a good leader that can see and hear, you'll never get caught in it. Watch it. Wouldn't tell you nothing wrong. No way, no way. I think that was Pete that was, when did you came to me with that girl that used to sing that you thought about a wife? I said, you know who she is? Well, I thought, that ain't no preacher's wife. It's a slut. No. I had to say, no, he talking like a fool. I was just wondering if, I said, but let me put your wonder to rest. No, that's not the one. No, it wasn't time. And she didn't even stay here. She backslid, what got worse and worse and worse. What preacher needs a backslidden wife? I said, that woman ain't gonna make you no wife. She's not a wife material. She's everything but that. He finally took it and went on, but he didn't have a choice. I said, Pete, go take a seat. The Lord will give you somebody in time. See? Don't go out here looking. You try to go find you something, you're going to get the wrong thing. If God gives you something, you'll get it right. You'll get it right. I hope tonight that if you got nothing else, you realize that you are walking every day. You might as well be walking in a minefield, in a booby traps, everywhere. That's where the devil is. He's everywhere. And he's going to get you in there if you don't pray and you don't fast. I don't care what you say. Quit grinning up in people's face. I'm saying that for a reason, what I see in the audience right now. Quit grinning in people's face. Well, I was just being friendly. Don't be friendly. Don't be friendly. Keep it straight. You get too friendly, people take it for the wrong thing. And all of a sudden, well, she seems like a nice person. She's, she smiles. I mean, we talk all the time. We share things. It's a trap being set. Don't get into it. If they come next door, your neighbor, whoever, no, not doing it. Listen to what I'm telling you. I've been around a long time. I saw so many things. I told you about Sister Joe and brother, think of his name, young man, muscular, young man, wasn't married. Joe was married. She's the name Joanne. We call her Joe. She's an old man. He probably went to sleep. And her and Brother Reed, that's his name. We all got in the car. That's why I don't believe men and women riding together unless it's you and your wife, or your wife's in the car. But we all rode in the same car. We was in a Triumph. You ever know what a Triumph is? That car is so little. It's so little. I bet you there was 7 of us in that car. We were packed in there like sardines going to church. And we kept packing in there till Brother Reed and Sister Joe got packed in the wrong way. And honey, that thing got so out of hand, the Lord showed it to Juanita. Juanita saw it just before it got ready to happen. And Brother Reed and Sister Joe was talking back and forth, communicating. And in Germany, you got what you call, there's a room downstairs. Some people refer to it as the maid's room. And so you can store it, put stuff in there or whatever. It's in the quarters. And the devil had her to set up that room, put a bed in there, set it all up, ready for action. Brother Reed, he didn't have a wife. He's young. He's about 20-something years old. Joe is about 30-something years old. Married to her husband that was 60. Bad news. Honey, them people had set the time to meet in that room down there and have sex. And just before they met, God showed it to Juanita. She got on the phone and called him and said, "What are y'all doing?" Because sometimes she would be standing like this in that wall right back there. The whole wall returned into a movie screen. Everything that was going on was on that screen. She said, "Look at this. They got a room set up." What? She called him in. Boy, that was a mess. They both was boo-hooing and crying, but they was almost out. Almost out. It just kept building and building. It's better you to go and say, "Sister Rose, I got a problem. I got an issue. Would you pray for me? Tell me what the issue is." You come to me with an issue but don't want to tell the issue. Tell me the issue. So I can direct you how to deal with it. So you don't get caught up in this situation and can't get out. One more story and I'm closing. That's my friend Juanita, the lady I just told you about, when she first got saved. Her and Brother Trippett, y'all have heard this story. Brother Trippett was the most ugliest he looked like a little monkey in the zoo. And he had a bad case of adenoid, so he done this all the time. All the time, looked just like a rat. And Juanita was married to Bill. Bill was the nicest man you ever want to meet. He was a sergeant in the Army, great big man, but didn't care for sex. And so he told me one day, he said, "Miss Banks, I never have been a very sexual man." And because Juanita done told me about him already. I said, "Really?" He said, "Yeah, I just never been." And she figured when she got saved, I better do something because he's not sexual. She just goes to church, rides back in the car with Brother Trippett. Her and Brother Trippett should have never been, no brother should be taking you back home from the church or vice versa. No, that should never happen. Riding in the car, kept on playing around. kept hugging, kept patting. And after a while, it got so bad until they couldn't. They both of them was getting sick, and Brother Trippett was worse. Brother Trippett got so sick, they put him in the hospital. Because every time they got ready to have sex, they'd have to come back down. Couldn't do it. So the one particular night that they thought, well, this night we're going to go through with it. And Juanita said she looked up, and you ain't never seen a hand that big in your life. She said, that hand said, and if you do, I will slap you down. She jumped out the car, ran in the house. Brother Trippett had a nervous breakdown almost, and they rushes him to the hospital. And the saints is at the hospital. Everybody's gathering for Brother Trippett. And Brother Trippett is saying, wouldn't do a dog like this. Wouldn't do a dog like this. And he was almost out of it. I wouldn't do a dog like this. And so I said, Brother Trippett, what happened? I wouldn't do a dog like this. He was so out of it, like a person that's not here. And so finally he started calling Juanita's name. He said, Sister Gilman, I wouldn't do a dog like this. So the people called and said, Sister Gilman, could you come over to the hospital, please? Brother Trippett is calling your name. She gets over there, she whispers in his ear, quit calling my name. In the biggest mess, if I can save you from letting the devil do that to you, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to do my best. But let's pull together, pray. 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 I told you this tonight, and let me tell you, for sure, before it's all said and done, I'll be counseling somebody right on that. Did you hear the message? Yes, ma'am, I heard it, but this was going on before the message. Really? You better run. It's not going to work for you. So I'm telling you tonight, musicians, come on. Don't touch it. Touch not, taste not, handle not.
There is peace at the foot of the cross. There is peace at the foot of the cross. Oh, you just lay down your burdens, lay down your way, lay down everything at the foot of the cross. Oh, yes. There is joy at the foot of the cross. Oh, yes, there is. There is joy